Hello, everyone. It's a great honor to participate in this academic conference and welcome to our presentation. I'd like to give an introduction of our research, a comparative study on the current situation of English education using metaverse in South Korea and China. And this work was voted by the BK2104 for Social Responsibility program through the National Research Foundation of Korea and under the Ministry of Education. Today, I will use the following 7 parts to give my introduction of our research. For the background and the purpose of study, I'd like to give an explanation of the word of metaverse. The word metaverse is a portmanteau of the Greek term meta, and which means transcendence, and the English word universe. Metaverse is an extension of virtual reality and augmented reality. As you can see, the word cloud is made of 2,000 keywords used the theme or title of metaverse related event from April to December 2021. As we can see, people frequently related the metaverse with future, age, digital use, and case. In South Korea, KIST also developed an educational metaverse app that uses technology that enables a large number of users to communicate in a real time by fusing SNS functions with virtual reality, realized in 4D on October 18, 2021. Many educational companies and educational institutions are also working to develop learning models as XR, AR, VR content. In particular, the characteristics of communication and participation in metaverse can further maximize their effects in language education. The reason is that the application of situated cognition is very effective in language education, which was proved through the research of ZHOU and Miyoung. Therefore, when developing a language education capacity based on metaverse, a high foreign language learning effect can be expected. Therefore, in this research, in the reality that various countries are forcing the utilization of metaverse into education, marketing, and so on, we learned the current situation of learning English using metaverse in Korea and China, using literature and the media, and further explore the potential for educational development. Let's take a look. In order to achieve the ultimate research objective, the research questions set as first, what is the current status of literature research in Korea and China? And second, what is the trend towards learning English using the metaverse through the Korean and Chinese media? Metaverse is a wide range of actual content and can be classified into 4 as shown in the figure. First, augmented reality refers to an environment in which a 3-dimensional virtual image is proposed on a real image or background and interacts with each other. Actively researched in fields such as HUD and wearable computer. A virtual world is a virtual environment that is similar to the real world, but with digital data using a computer, but completely different. In the virtual world, users can participate in social activities and create new worlds through avatars. Mirror words refers to Kakao maps, and live blogging refers to blogs, SNS, activities such as Facebook, and so on. So in this way, the scope of the metaverse is diverse, and in the study, we emphasize the communication and participation, which are important for learning English. Among the characteristics of metaverse and augmented reality and virtual that express this well. The study of what it was limited to metaverse. In fact, in South Korea, metaverse has made a lot of growth in the education fields as a result of COVID-19. As VR content for domestic English education, the Super VR Clean Gauge that came into effect from 2020 is typical. And KT has constructed a language training program with a personal VR service, Super VR. In addition, in partnership with Kyoten Learning, an English education institution, we conducted language education on a social platform with the VR language training program Engage. And 20 students who participated entered the virtual classroom with native English teachers in the form of an embedder. They support 1 hour of conversation lessons every day. In addition, metaverse is also used in the fields of art education, science education, and integrated education. In China, the research centers research plan announcement and academic conference were held from the second half of the 2021, and the metaverse development research report to the of the 2020 to 2021 research plan with more than 120 pages was announced. In emphasizing the safety discipline of metaverse, it is constantly evolving in the direction of large-scale digitalization, virtualization, and intelligence in terms of education. Specifically, education metaverse innovation human resources training model, also providing an energy smart education environment, providing diverse educational resources, and so on. So the utilization of subjects is created 3 educational metaverse things, such as library, campus, and classroom, and realize 3 learning activities such as every type guidance, integrated research, and multiply generation. Now we go to the second part, research method. This study is a comparative study of current status of English learning using the metaverse of China and South Korea. Considering the sudden rise of metaverse, we collected and analyzed 2 forms of literature and media. A comparative analysis is conducted on the types of research and research content analysis. We collected papers from the site of RIS in Korea and the site of CNKI in China. By using metaverse English increased reality as our keywords. The period is set from January 1st, 2019 to February 28, 2024. Finally, 14 papers in Korea and 15 papers in China was collected. Also, a comparative study of mass media was conducted. Mass media analysis is the main method in research of newspapers and broadcastings. Mass media analysis is the process of defining the specific characteristics of a mass more objectively and systematically in the content of the media. Unlike literature research, mass media research is trusted in South Korea and China, considering that a lot of information is overflowing and that Metaverse is an edutech that is expanding the speed of force industry in a wide range. We used the Proto set that is used by the most people. The survey period was from February 1st, 2001 to February 28th, 2022. As a result, we have collected 54 articles on South Korea's research site Naver and 35 articles on China's search site Baidu. As a result of academic research, papers of Korea are focused on the following 4 directions. First, the most frequent research was survey of learners' perceptions using Metaverse. The second is effectiveness of English education in Metaverse. The third is complementary points. The first is request for follow-up research. Also, in China, most of the frequent research discussed the utilization, personality, and application scenarios of the Metaverse in the online and offline teaching. Also, many of the frequent research describes the impact and the promotion of the development of virtual reality and augmented reality technology on English education forms, education methods, and education ideas, summarizes the basic ideas and characteristics of VR technology, and analyzes the impact of virtual reality technology on the development of English teaching. As a result, there were a few articles and research about Metaverse because the Metaverse is still in progress both in South Korea and China. Especially, it appears that the awareness of the technology used in Metaverse was low. Study on English education was not enough, and English educators didn't know how much about Metaverse. We searched for Metaverse English learning using the portal site in Korea of Naver, the most widely used media in South Korea. We confined that articles to a new tab from February 1st, 2001 to February 28th, 2022. As a result, 2,037 articles were collected. Among them, excluding articles which are repeated or have topics far from the study. Finally, 43 articles were analyzed and consequently coded into subject, user, platform, and concept. It is shown that companies are progressing way faster on Metaverse than public organizations. Not only educational companies, but also various companies are interested in learning English using Metaverse. There were 2 cases in which public situations cooperated with companies to utilize Metaverse in English learning, not by themselves. Regardless of users' age, metaverse can be used to learn English. Many English learning programs are using metaverse targeting children aged 4 to 12. It is confirmed that users can learn English using a customized program in metaverse that is suitable for users' age. In many articles, research is done and the program are being developed to use metaverse effectively for English learning by combining various technologies such as customized classes with artificial intelligence and augmented reality-based education services. English learning is combined with immersive content, AI for customized education, and augmented reality that makes us users participate more. Also, we searched for metaverse English learning using the portal site Baidu in China. The most widely used media in China. We can find that articles to a new tab from the same time. As a result, 71 articles were collected, among them excluding articles which are repeated or have topics far from the study. Finally, 33 articles were analyzed and consequently coded into subject, user, platform, and concept. As a result, education companies participate more than public organizations to learn English using metaverse. Also, programs for English learning target users of various ages. There were more programs for elementary, middle, and high school students than in South Korea. However, the number of customized programs using metaverse was the same as in South Korea. Educational services that combine various technologies of metaverse are being used a lot. Research is done and programs are being developed to use metaverse effectively for English learning. Also, English learning induces self-directed learning through customized education that considers individual psychological states by using artificial intelligence more actively. Finally, after a series of analysis and research, we came to the part of conclusions. Our study compares the current situation of English learning using metaverse in South Korea and China. This study shows that both in South Korea and China, metaverse is having a big interest, but study about metaverse from now was still in progress. In addition, in the literature review, it was shown that cognitive research, which is the beginning stage of research, was the most. Also, there was a study that revealed that relationship between the efficiency of English education using metaverse. This study showed that some educators and researchers lack professional knowledge on the convergence of English education and technology with its metaverse. We also could find that studies about metaverse and English learning based on collaboration with educators, researchers, and technicians are needed. Though the media, it is shown that educational companies are being active because the marketability principle based on the needs of learners is working and moving quickly in educational companies. For this reason, the users are concentrated on the subjects who learn English hard. So users were mainly children in South Korea and elementary, middle, and high school students in China. In addition, the interdisciplinary integration and conversions technologies were used, and at the same time, users were concentrated on customized education. AI was utilized in English learning in metaverse. This suggests the need to develop EdTech as future education. However, although educational companies only develop programs and platforms, public organizations need to study how metaverse can be applied to public education evenly. And the perception and effectiveness of instructors to apply metaverse to students. And the biggest advantage of metaverse is that experience in metaverse is similar to reality. It gives the greatest effect on English learning. However, since it is still insufficient to design a fulfilled curriculum, the next step to verify the curriculum is needed more quickly. The study has limitation in that it only analyzes the current status of beginning stage, which are the literature review and the media, without much research. In conclusion, the study analyzes how can users learn English through metaverse. It is meaningful because English has the potential to reflect the advantages of metaverse sufficiently. As educational companies replied rapidly progress by the marketability principle with the needs of learners, this study implicates that conscious collaboration with public education should be carried out with the educational movement dealing with the period changing triggered by the first industry revolution. Okay, thank you for taking time to listen to our presentation. Thank you. See you next time.